So yeah, I started playing guitar when I was 10 years old, and then I also started playing bass. And I kind of grew up with a lot of post-punk and industrial and goth music when I was a kid, because my dad also used to play in bands and be an engineer for different post-punk bands and stuff like Killing Joke or Sisters of Mercy and stuff like that. And then as I became a teenager and stuff, I was also in Void Vision, and that also got me into more electronic music and was playing synths and guitar in that. And then I also had my own band, Dream Affair, I was playing guitar and singing in. That was my main band. And I also toured in other bands that were kind of, everything revolved around this Weird Records label and party in New York City. And so I was also playing in Auto Melody and Frank Just Frank and Asazi. These were all bands from like 10 years ago in New York. In general, every day I'm listening to my passion is always more post-punk and also shoegaze music, and also like old industrial and experimental music, as well as also black metal. So it goes from everything. So maybe one day it's more extreme music and heavy stuff, and another day maybe lighter stuff. So anything from Cocteau Twins to Mayhem. Of course, when it's going to be 8 or 10 hours or something, then I'm working more to divide the tracks into different moods and more specific genres of like subgenres of techno or synthwave or something, and getting a bit more specific. So, when you're playing so many songs, that everything's quite organized and able to change and shift and gradually move to different moods, so you can kind of tell this whole story. And sleeping's important too. Noise canceling earphones. That's the most important thing, and my Nintendo Switch, so I can be completely zoned out from the situation around me. Usually the opening, I kind of have like a few tracks I know that I want to open, that I would like to open with, and it depends on the night and who's playing before me. So if it's more like a night where the music's kind of more fitting together, then maybe I have like a nice intro and like a song to kind of build up the mood and stuff. And it also, of course, depends what time of the night you're playing. And or sometimes I just like to go running out of the gates with something hard and with like a hit and a banger. And then with closing, usually like I like to calm down and resolve and kind of go more to my roots and play like a cool old synthwave song or EBM song or something like that to kind of end on like a fun note. Co-founded the label 5 years ago, and it was really just like a platform to release like-minded artists and kind of artists that kind of fell between the cracks of genres. So it's like maybe it's not completely techno, but it's also not post-punk or wavy, and it's still really dance floor driven and club-minded. And so it was just kind of started just to grow this, and now I think 5 years later it came a long way. We have all these showcases at KHIDI and Berghain and all around the world, and I think now it's like it grew so much. Now we have a team and doing like 8 or 9 releases a year, and like really big releases. So I think with this compilation, it's like 18 tracks, and it kind of sums up the whole sound and vision of the label. The purpose of the Byte artwork was to take this music that's always considered like darker and kind of like dusty and black and white, and change the image of it, and also to change the perception of the music, because of course the music isn't actually super dark and hard and scary. It's like it's fun and inviting, and it's meant to be celebrated. So with the art, we were also trying to add color to it and make it a bit more pop art. And Silent Servant was always doing this with the labels he was working with before, like Sandwell District and Jealous God. And we wanted to kind of keep this going. And it's also all influenced more, not from techno album art, but more from like old like 80s album art from like labels like 4AD or Factory Records, where the artwork was really just as important as the music. And just adding another layer to the perception of people's the way people see and hear the music. I think one of my most memorable would probably be like the first time I did the Berghain closing. So of course I was like super nervous and stuff, and this was also when Berghain closings went really, really long. So, and yeah, this was really like a monumental moment for me, and it was really cool to like mix all these different genres like with this much time. It's kind of something you never do so often. And for others, I don't know, I guess I'm just a fan of closing sets. So I think my favorite sets from others is to be the first time Silent Servant did the Berghain closing. He's like kind of my hero. And then more recently, I think when Unhuman did the closing here at KHIDI last time for the Bite Night in December, it was really amazing. So I have like a few different always like ongoing live collaborations and also DJ. I think my main one, of course, is Soft Crash with Pablo Bozzi. And there it was because we both really love Italo and synthwave, and Pablo still does more of that mainly in his solos. But of course, when I do Phase Fatale, it's a bit more industrial and darker and harder. And when we do Soft Crash together, it's like something of a mixture of both. And I think it's really important for both of us to have this outlet to do the other kind of music that we really like. And then also to do the live set together and really go deep into production. It's always great to have like a partner to do it with, because you develop more ideas than you would yourself. And then also I just played live with New Frames, so we also have a kind of ongoing collaboration, and that goes even more to like the harder side of the techno for me. And it's great because I'm actually doing more vocals and stuff and adding all these lyrics on top, so it's quite unique and a bit more punk in this way. And then also I have the live set also with Terence Fixmer, so that's also kind of like, of course, like a hero of like in EBM industrial techno scene. So it's really great to work with him, and you know, it's like also different dynamic. I like to really see when people are really locked in and really dancing and really into the music and feeling something, and you know, they're really maybe celebrating together and is bringing people together. And then it's, you know, not with phones out and stuff and people going back and forth for a cigarette and a drink, but people are really there for the music and kind of everybody's on a journey together, like DJ and dancers and everything. I think the clubbing power is to unite people and also to create like a safe space and a place where people can really be themselves that maybe they can't be in like the public sphere. I think you really see this power more like in countries like here in Georgia, where people really need these spaces to really express themselves and also to bring people together and, you know, create a movement behind it that's not just about partying, but something a bit deeper and more meaningful. I think there will have to be a more push for people to still be playing in clubs and have this experience of playing and the skills of playing in a club that you can't get from just being online. And hopefully it grows in a better way. My favorite. Yeah, there's so many great artists from Tbilisi. The music scene is so strong here, and with really cool styles of music and very individual. And yeah, there's just so many great local artists that are growing so much. KHIDI for me is one of my favorite places, to be honest, because it really feels like family. It feels like a home, and also for me even feels like a place where I could really be myself and really get into the music here, and I could just be a person in the crowd, and it's like it really works like that still, and it's really like peaceful in this, you know, crazy club with like and then I think also just musically it's very pure and stays true to its vision no matter what, and it's important to me. My favorite like techno track would probably be like Ancient Methods, Knights and Bishops. And then for a song, it was kind of hard for me to think of a specific song, but I would say my favorite album would be easier. So I would say that's like The Cure, Pornography. Really like films and watching films and all different kinds of like more art house films, indie films, and lots of old horror and sci-fi movies. My favorite animes go between, from the cooler stuff like Ghost in the Shell, and then of course I also just really love Naruto, and I identify with Naruto, I think.